It's Saturday, May the 30th, 2026. You're listening to the DX Today AI Daily Brief. Today, Anthropic closes a $65 billion funding round at a $965 billion valuation. Leapfrogging OpenAI launches Rosalind Biodefense to help governments prepare for the next pandemic. And Dell raises its annual AI server forecast to $60 billion as Wall Street sends the stock soaring. Let's get into it.
Anthropic closed its Series H funding round on Thursday at $65 billion, valuing the Claude maker at $965 billion post-money. The round was co-led by Altimeter Capital, Dragoneer, Green Oaks, and Sequoia Capital, with participation from Capital Group, Coatue, GIC, and infrastructure partners Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron. The financing leapfrogs OpenAI's reported $852 billion valuation, making Anthropic the world's most valuable AI startup. Run rate revenue crossed $47 billion earlier in May, positioning the company for a likely October initial public offering.
From funding to biodefense.
OpenAI unveiled its Rosalind Biodefense program on Friday, expanding trusted access to its GPT Rosalind Life Sciences model for vetted developers, U.S. government agencies, and allied public health partners. The program covers epidemiological modeling, early detection, vaccine development, and pandemic preparedness. Early partners include Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory, and the Vaccine Initiative CEPI. OpenAI is sponsoring access costs for vetted developers and pairing the launch with a broader frontier governance framework that aligns its safety practices with California's Transparency in Frontier AI Act and the European Union AI Act.
Now to Redmond and Round Rock.
Microsoft confirmed on Friday that its Build 2026 Developer Conference, which kicks off June 2nd, will not feature a Windows 12 reveal. The company said this year's focus is on AI-powered experiences and tools coming to Windows 11. Microsoft also signaled it will unveil a new family of in-house AI coding models at the conference, designed as cost-effective alternatives to offerings from OpenAI and Anthropic. Separately, the Windows team teased a major AI PC hardware event at Computex in Taipei, with a Windows account post reading, quote, "A new era of PC begins."
Dell's blowout quarter.
Dell Technologies reported record first-quarter revenue of $43.8 billion on Thursday and raised its full-year AI server forecast to roughly $60 billion, up 144% year-over-year. The Infrastructure Solutions Group posted $29 billion in revenue, with AI-optimized server sales of $16.1 billion, up 757% year-over-year. Shares surged the most since Dell's return to public markets in 2018. The full-year top-line guidance now sits at $167 billion at the midpoint, nearly 50% higher than last year.
Snowflake's best day ever.
Snowflake shares surged 36% on Thursday after the data cloud company posted a strong first quarter, raised its full-year sales outlook, and announced a multi-year AI agreement with Amazon Web Services. The company added 616 net new customers in the quarter, a 38% year-over-year increase, and now counts 779 customers spending more than $1 million annually. Snowflake also said it will acquire AI startup Natoma to deepen its agentic analytics capabilities. The rally lifted Oracle, ServiceNow, and Palantir, and marked the largest single-day gain for Snowflake stock since 2020.
Powering the next generation.
NVIDIA and data center developer IREN announced a strategic partnership this week to deploy up to 5 gigawatts of AI infrastructure aligned with NVIDIA's DSX reference architecture. The collaboration is designed to accelerate build-out of large-scale AI factories using NVIDIA's Vera Rubin platform, with capacity coming online progressively. The deal underscores how power procurement, grid interconnection, and campus-scale infrastructure have replaced raw chip access as the binding constraint for hyperscale AI growth. NVIDIA executives told investors that electricity access is now rivaling accelerator access as the dominant competitive moat across the cloud sector.
A search engine fights back.
DuckDuckGo reported this week that U.S. app installs jumped 18.1% week over week on average, with a single-day peak of 30.5% on May 25th. The privacy-focused search engine attributed the surge to users seeking alternatives after Google made Gemini 3.5 flash the default in its AI mode. Visits to the company's AI-free search page, noi.duckduckgo.com, climbed an average 22.7% week over week. CEO Gabriel Weinberg said Google is, quote, force-feeding AI with no way to opt out, end quote.
Apple's accessibility push.
Bloomberg reported on Thursday that Apple plans to make on-device AI a central theme at WWDC 2026, which opens June 8th at Apple Park. The company will lean on 15 years of custom silicon to argue that running AI models locally is faster, more private, and more battery efficient than cloud-based competitors. Apple also previewed more than 8 AI-powered accessibility upgrades spanning VoiceOver, Magnifier, Voice Control, Accessibility Reader, and Vision Pro. Reports suggest Apple will let users select Gemini, ChatGPT, or Claude as the default supporting assistant on iPhone later this year.
YouTube tightens AI labeling.
YouTube began rolling out automatic AI labeling this week for videos containing significant photorealistic AI-generated or AI-altered content, even when creators fail to disclose it themselves. Labels will appear below the video player on long-form content and as overlays on shorts. Creators can dispute incorrect flags through YouTube Studio, but labels will remain permanent for videos made with YouTube's Veo or Dream Screen tools and for content carrying C2PA authenticity metadata. The change marks YouTube's first move from voluntary disclosure to algorithmic enforcement and reflects rising platform pressure to police synthetic media at scale.
DeepSeek slashes inference costs.
Chinese AI startup DeepSeek made permanent a 75% price cut for its flagship V4 Pro model, escalating an ongoing global pricing war. V4 Pro now ranges from roughly $0.0036 to 87 cents per million tokens, down from a previous high of $3.48. DeepSeek says the reduction reflects genuine efficiency gains, with V4 Pro running at roughly 1/4 the compute and 1/10 the memory footprint of its predecessor on long context inference. The company says V4 Pro is now about 11 times cheaper than Claude Opus 4.7 at comparable coding benchmarks.
A rare miss in San Francisco.
Salesforce broke ranks with the broader enterprise software rally on Thursday, with shares slipping after the company posted lackluster forward guidance. While Snowflake, Oracle, and ServiceNow surged on AI monetization signals, Salesforce stuck to a cautious outlook that disappointed investors looking for stronger evidence that Agentforce deployments are translating into accelerating subscription revenue. Analysts noted the company is still in the early stages of converting agentic AI demand into recurring contracts, and several flagged execution risk and around CRM's ambitious migration of legacy workflows to autonomous agents. The stock underperformed every major software peer on the day.
And finally, from the Vatican.
Pope Leo XIV released his first papal encyclical, Magnifica Humanitas, or Magnificent Humanity, focused on, quote, the protection of the human person in the age of artificial intelligence. The document was signed exactly 135 years after Pope Leo XIII signed Rerum Novarum on workers' rights, explicitly framing AI as the industrial revolution of our time. The encyclical calls for binding international standards on autonomous weapons, transparency in algorithmic decision-making, and worker protections against displacement. Co-signatories from the tech industry include an Anthropic co-founder signaling unusual coordination between the Vatican and Silicon Valley.
That's your briefing for Saturday, May the 30th, 2026. For DX Today, stay curious.